Hello, welcome to Razmafzar TV channel. My name is Hayden Lewis, and I would like to talk about my appreciation of the shamshir. So, the shamshir is an Eastern saber from Persia, modern-day Iran. Many cultures use swords similar to this. For example, the Turks use the kilich, the Afghanis use the pulwar, and in India they use the talwar. And if you look at more, I wouldn't say modern now, but more modern cavalry sabers, like even here in the United States, across Europe, Britain, France, Germany, it influenced those designs as well as Polish sabers. I've seen some Polish sabers that have almost this same curvature, but it has a handguard over, which I think is very interesting. So this was a very influential blade. Without these Eastern sabers, there wouldn't have been cavalry sabers that have been used all the way up until the 20th century, which I think is very interesting. I really like the curvature because I feel it's more forgiving for thrusts, as I've talked about before. If I were to miss the tip, I could still do a pretty devastating push cut, and then as well as a draw cut. Because of the curvature, it curves out. You can almost, I've read about whole limbs being pushed off with a push cut, which I think is very interesting. I'm not a expert, or I wouldn't even say I'm intermediate. I would still say I'm probably about novice level with this type of sword. But I feel it's very forgiving when I actually do cuts. Now, I don't have a proper cutting platform, so I use my trash can and I practice my horizontal cuts. And I could get pretty decent ones, even if my edge alignment isn't perfect, it still cuts really, really good. So it's a very forgiving sword in that regard. And I also like it, as you could tell, I can hold it like this, and I could draw a bow, and then I can rotate it into my hand. I don't want to do it in here because I don't want to hit my lights right there. I just want to be careful. So I really like it. I feel that I'm much faster with this than when I first started. I was doing some practice yesterday, and I felt like I was slow with it. And then I watched the footage and I was like, I'm actually a lot faster than I used to be. So I don't know if that's necessarily good, but it feels good. And it just looks good, even though this is just a cheap one. So yeah. And I have mine set up with a leather wrap, because without the wrap it feels like the handle is too skinny for my hand. And then I have a lanyard, which I wouldn't use the lanyard without armor, mainly for safety, because I don't want the possibility of dropping this and having a sharp sword swinging around. Even a blunt one, I wouldn't want it swinging around. So when I have full armor, I will utilize this lanyard, given that it doesn't rip, because it is a little thin. But yeah, it hasn't failed me yet, but I also don't use it too much. But yeah, I really appreciate this sword, especially recently. I've been picked it up yesterday, and I just feel really good with it. What is y'all's opinion on the shamshir? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, like and share it. Consider subscribing to our channel, and thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. Before we go, I would also like to add that this style of saber has actually been around a lot longer than most people think. That there are accounts of it around the 700s, late 700s, of swords like these. I would also like to add that it's not only a symbol of Islam, but it's also a symbol of Eastern Orthodox Christianity as well. You would see a lot of nobles in Eastern Europe. Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought. You would see a lot of nobles in Eastern Europe covet blades like this, especially in Poland and Russia, and even in Serbia. And they would even covet bows from the East as well. And if you were to have a Persian-made one, like I've said earlier, you were the man. It's like having a Rolex that can chop limbs off. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.